Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me.
I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. We're taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it, get after it. Get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
What's going on, everybody? We're going to get ready to get started in just a few moments, just letting everybody kind of file on in. And we got an impromptu show. I wasn't gonna go live originally, but of course the news has started to come out about some cuts that the Titans have made, and so I said, you know what, I might as well just go ahead and go live anyway and just go ahead and talk about it. So we're finna get ready to get started in just a moment. Y'all go ahead and share this show out, whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and everywhere that you get it. And then we're going to go ahead and get ready to get this thing started in about 60 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. Everybody stick with me, and we're going to get ready to rock it out and talk about some of the, it's been as some people call it, a bloody Wednesday. It's been, as it says on the graphic, today was Titans cut day, one of them. And then, of course, we're going to slowly start talking about the combine that is less than a week away from beginning, where everybody, of course, will descend upon Indianapolis would descend upon Indianapolis for scouts to look at potential draft picks and be able to talk to them and things like that. So that's what we got coming up. And we're going to get ready to get this show started in less than 60 seconds. Y'all come on in. We're going to have a good time. Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody? Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome into another edition of TNT Tonight. I am your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth, and we're going to have a very fun episode for you on this evening as GM Rand Carthon ain't playing around. He is going ahead. He's getting some cuts out of the way ahead of next week's NFL Combine, and we're going to talk about that. And then, of course, we're going to kind of go into the Combine a little bit to talk about maybe some things that we might be looking for as far as, what's going to happen, at least some people that we, groups that we could definitely take a look at because I'm definitely going to be watching the Combine very, very intently to try to see what this Titan team need and who could impress and who could be some guys that the Tennessee Titans need to have on this football team. Guys that could be potential Titans. So we're definitely going to get into that. But first of all, I ask that all of you do me a favor and please do share this show out, whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you share it. And also join the pages too. Definitely go ahead and join the pages. It'll be on Facebook, the TNT Enforcers group. Go ahead and join that. Once I see it, I might get a little behind, but once I see that you're trying to get in, and you're a good Titans fan and everything, I'll get you in there. So definitely do that. On Twitter, go follow me at TNT Blue Enforcer on Twitter. Definitely trying to get my Twitter a little bit better. I have been struggling with that. Like I'm at 555 followers. I'd like to get a lot more than that. So definitely help me out with that. And then on Instagram, definitely follow at Titans_in_truth. Definitely follow that as well. And you'll get up-to-date information on everything that's going on because like I am posting as we speak. I'm posting as we speak. Yeah, I might hear the music in the background. And everything. But yeah, y'all come on in, follow those channels. Y'all come in and follow the channels and everything. And we're gonna have a very good time on this show. So let me just say, I'm just hit you into my Instagram page. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Thank y'all everybody for coming on in and tuning into the show. Also, make sure if you are new to the show, also you can catch me on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts as well. I usually have these episodes put up maybe like either this following night. I'm sorry. I usually have it later on in the night, or I would have it in first thing tomorrow as best as I can. If I don't, blame my brain, not my heart. I don't intently forget, but sometimes it does happen. We are all human beings here. And then also give a like to the show, smash that like button. Definitely help as a lot of people say, the algorithm. Definitely help me out with that. And go ahead, if you are new to the show, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And when you do, under notifications, ring that bell, hit all under the bell. So that way, every time I go live or there's a show coming up, you will get that notification. You will know that the show is coming. And in that way, you can be a part of the experience as well. So y'all make sure y'all come on in. And so let me get I know a couple of people have already chimed in. I know Derek Roberts usually does his tithes and offerings. So we're going left tackle in the draft, I see. I mean, that is a huge possibility. That is a definite possibility. We got Lauman 007. What's up, Herman? What's up, Miss Mims? Also, Miss Mims, thank you for your prayers last week. Praying with me. I was kind of going through a rough time. I was kind of going through a rough day at the job a little bit, but I was fine. Ms. Mims, thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you for all of that. As Derek Roberts says, hit that like button. Out the Crib Custom. Y'all make sure y'all check him out too. Of course, got the Titans of Truth hat just like this. OTC, I'm going to have to get with you because, I may see about a new design. So we may have to see about that. Fat Randy gone, thank goodness. We definitely going to talk about that. DO9 up in here. What's up with you? Titan Overdrive. We got Orchestra. Al Pierce says, who's next? We going to find out. Reggie B says, Rand not playing around. Keon is in time. Yep, you are. Tremaine in time. Drumstar. Gonna bring in some real talent. C-Dub. We got some of everybody in here. So, and Ian said, Ty making big money moves today. I like it. C-Dub says, ESPN talking about Henry to the Bills as a possibility. I see they're trying to stir the pot. So, let's talk about that because a lot of cuts, Bloody Wednesday, as some people call it, is definitely underway. And that's what we're looking like. Right now, the Tennessee Titans have made some major moves and have definitely did some damage. They went ahead. They started off today. They cut Taylor Lewan, saving $14.8 million against the cap. Then they went I'm sorry, I'll talk about that in just a minute. But they cut Taylor Lewan. They also went ahead and cut Robert Woods. And Robert Woods, of course, tweeted out saying free. So basically, he seems to be happy to have gotten cut. Then, of course, Zach Cunningham got cut. And then maybe a surprise cut a little bit, but not one that I'm like going crazy. Like, why did they do that? In fact, Randy Bullock, also got cut. So the Tennessee Titans are definitely making moves, and they're not playing around. They know that they need to be under the cap and be compliant. They are definitely that. They are definitely now under the cap, so they are compliant with the NFL ahead of the new league year that starts. That definitely starts March the 15th. So that's a couple of weeks from now. So again, That was breaking news. All of this happening today. Taylor Lewan, Robert Woods, Zach Cunningham, and Randy Bullock all cut. All of them no longer Titans. They are no longer Titans as of right now. Now, Paul Kuharsky put out a tweet saying that the Titans haven't closed the door on bringing Lewan back, maybe at a lesser amount. But again, I wouldn't expect, if they did leave that door open for Lewan, I mean, I think it would depend on how much Lewan is willing to play for, because it's either, I really think according to him, it's either he's going to play here or he's going to, retire and go on into broadcasting, which I think he's going to have a very good broadcasting career. So let's take a look at the numbers. And let's take a look at the numbers of what the savings are. And as you can see on the graphic, I definitely did the best I can to highlight everything. Give or take a number or two. For example, you got Taylor Lewan at $14.8 million that you save. Robert Woods, you save you save about $12 million. Again, some of my numbers are not completely 1,000% because I was trying to make this on the fly as far as for the show today. So forgive me. I am, definitely fixing that on the fly as we speak. But Robert Woods, saves about $12 million. Lewan, 14.8. Zach Cunningham is at 8.9 million, and then Randy Bullock at 2.07, almost 2.1 million in savings for the Tennessee Titans. And so, and I'm actually getting a more accurate number, getting that up in just a quick second, so it's a lot more accurate for you. And so definitely forgive me for that. But yes, in all, the Titans have saved well over $37.8 million off of the cap. And so now you will see, there it is, the numbers. I've adjusted the numbers correctly on there. So Taylor Lewan, you save $14.8 million against the cap. Robert Woods, you save $12 million against the cap. Zach Cunningham, about 8.9. Some said 8.8, some said 8.9 against the cap. And then Randy Bullock at 2.07. So about a savings of $37.8 million against the cap so far. So the Titans started the day at about $23.4 million. And about $23.4 million over the cap, according to Over the Track. So they started at $23.4 million, and now that they saved $37.8 million, they are now at about $14.4 million in the green. So they went from $23.4 million over the cap to $14.4 million under the cap. And of course, there are still some other moves that still have to be made. I think another guy that's probably going to get cut is a Jamarco Jones, who really hasn't done, who never really even suited up for the Titans at all this year, because he got hurt in camp. So when he got hurt, he's been out pretty much the whole year. And so, that's another guy that I think could be a cap casualty. I think everybody is going to be asking about is Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree is a very big question when it comes to the salary cap. He's probably the big domino of all of this. And, he would save right at about a little over 9 million, 9.35 to be exact, against the cap. if you cut him. So if you cut Bud Dupree, you will be saving. You would definitely be saving around 9.35, but you also have 10.8 million in dead money that you're gonna have to deal with. So that is one thing. Now, of course, they could do it as a pre-June 1st cut, and they could save. They could definitely save that 9 million, that 9.35 million against the cap. If you go ahead and cut Dupree now, and then you eat 10.8 million in dead cap. But if you wait till post June 1st, yeah, you could save about 15, 14, 15 million, but then you would have to eat, I believe, a little over 4 million this year, but you would also have to eat about 6 million next year if you cut Bud Dupree after June 1st. So again, Titans started minus 23.4 million. They were over the cap. Now they're 14.4 million under the cap. And I'm going to get to some of y'all comments in just a second. So Bud Dupree is definitely one guy to keep an eye on. Of course, Jamarco Jones, the Titans will save about, the Titans would definitely save about a little over $1 million. Maybe about a little bit over $1 million if they cut Jamarco Jones, which I think they probably should go ahead and cut him as well, because again, he didn't do anything. He didn't really do anything for the team or anything like that, because a wasted roster spot, basically. You got to go ahead and replenish this offensive line, and I can guarantee you Jamarco Jones does not help that. He doesn't help that at all. So let me get to some of y'all comments right quick. And of course, now, according to a lot of different sites, there are some different numbers. According to Spot Track, they look at the top 50, they're looking at top 51. So Spot Track has the Titans at right at 11.3 million under the cap. Overthecap.com has the Titans at about 12.4 million under the cap. So there's a lot of things to decipher. There's a lot of things that are going to happen. Tremaine says Dennis Daly should have been first out the door. I think Dennis Daly might be a free agent. Let me see if he's on the books for 2024. That's a very good question. I don't see him on here. So I think, and see, they've quickly removed like Zach Cunningham, Robert Woods. They've already moved him. Like Julio being a post June 1st cut last year, we're still eating 8.4 million from Julio Jones. So we're going to be eating that money. But Dennis Daly, I believe, is a free agent now, because I do not see him on Over the Cap. I don't see him at all. So again, if you cut Bud Dupree now, you eat 10.85 million, but you save 9.35 million pre-June 1st. If you do post-June 1st, yes, you save 15.75 million, but you will eat 4.45 million in dead cap this year, and you're going to have to eat some dead cap money in 2024 as well, about 6.4 million. That is if you cut Bud Dupree. So again, do y'all think Bud Dupree will get cut? I think he's going to get cut because again, the contract does not match with the production. Classic Rod says it's not like this is a surprise. Everyone knew those cuts were coming except for Fat Randy. It's no surprise. I agree with that. I agree. C-Dub says still waiting on Bud Dupree and Jamarco Jones. I know Ms. Mims wasn't happy about the Woods cut, but again, Robert Woods didn't do anything. He had like 53 catches, 500 yards. A.J. Brown had almost double the catches and 3 times the yards. So, again, that's going to be, a very, the wide receiver and offensive line are our biggest needs. Brandon says another kicker. Well, I mean, Caleb Shudak could earn his way, or there are probably going to be some kickers in college that definitely are going to be at the combine. I'm pretty sure those are going to be some guys that Ran Carthon looks at. So now, according like C-Dub says, we have the 13th most amount of money in the league, and we're not done, I don't think. So we're definitely going to find out. MHVACR, what's up? Yes, Herman, you're right. The way they had to cut some guys, they designated Cunningham and Taylor Lewan as failed physicals as part of that. So, so we paid Cunningham $9 million. No, Cunningham is only the dead cap that we're eating is about $4.5 million, but we're saving right at $9 million. So we saved that by cutting them. Again, none of these cuts are a surprise, ladies and gentlemen. None of these cuts are a surprise to anybody. So again, close to 30. Again, I'm going to put the graphic up for everybody of these cuts that were made. And again, Taylor Lewan, Robert Woods, Zach Cunningham, Randy Bullock. You save almost $38 million in cap. You went from being $23.4 million in the red to now $14.4 million in the green, or in corporate terms, the black. So now we're in the black. We are compliant with the NFL. We are now under the salary cap, and you got to have some money. You got to have some money going into the combine, because remember, and we're going to talk about the combine in just a little bit. At the combine, you're not only looking at potential draft picks. Ran Carthon is going to be among a lot of his GM buddies, a lot of his personnel buddies that he knows around the league. The combine is where a lot of deals get started, a lot of trades, a lot of free agent deals kind of get started at the combine. And we're definitely going to talk about that. A lot of people saying Bud Dupree next. Lee Hillis from 615 Podcast. And Lee, congratulations to you on your success as well. He said restructure Kevin Byard, Hooker, and Landry. I don't know if they'll restructure Landry, but I can see Hooker and Byard maybe. Let's see. Bim said they need to bring back Rashaan Evans, Tajay Sharp, Logan Ryan suck up back on the team. Miss Mims, no offense, but no, that's not gonna happen. That's not going to happen. Rashaan Evans was terrible. Rashaan Evans was not that good. Tajay Sharp, they could have brought back last year possibly, but they didn't think he would be good enough to be like their 5th receiver, so they didn't. Logan Ryan, I mean, was happy in New York, things like that, but Logan Ryan, kind of a shell of himself right now. I wouldn't mind bringing Logan Ryan in maybe one day as a coach after his playing career is over. What I would love for them to do, bring in Logan Ryan and Wesley Woodyard on the coaching staff. I would definitely be down for that. Ian says Tannehill is next. Titans Rossi, what's up? He said it will be interesting to see what they do with Tannehill. Regardless, they got to get the cap number down. And let's take a look at Ryan Tannehill. And I'm going to go ahead and share over the cap because I got that up right now. And so I'm sharing this screen with y'all so that y'all see what I'm talking about. And so if you look at Spot Track, if you see over here, you look at here, you look at Ryan Tannehill. This is overthecap.com. Ryan Tannehill right now, if you cut him, his cap number is at $36.6 million. So if you cut him right now, you save $17.8 million. You will save $17.8 million, but you're going to have to eat $18.8 million. That is if you cut him right now. If you cut him post June 1st, which they could do depending on what they do, and they're probably gonna have to do it sooner rather than later. I don't think post June 1st is in the cards. It really now the only way I see post June 1st, which the Titans would eat $9.6 million in cap space, but save $27 million. The only way I see that happening is if they draft if they trade up and draft a quarterback in the first round. That is the only way I see a post June 1st cut, because either Stroud or Bryce Young, one of them, if you get one of them, they're probably your starter. Malik or Josh Dobbs could be the backup, even though Dobbs is now on the team as of right now. And then you can save that $27 million, but you would have to wait an awfully long time for that $27 million to come on the books. And you still got to make some moves. But if a trade happens, I think we still would have to eat that $18.8 million, but you still save that money on a trade. So it doesn't matter. It would not matter how that is now. I know in some trades you can finagle. You can finagle and work your way. You can kind of finagle and work your way with the money. I know somebody said that, I know Titans Rossi had came out and said, it's a possibility the Jets could take on the whole contract, which I don't think that's possible. Now, maybe a restructure could happen, and then with the trade, the Titans could save more money and still make the trade, say, with the Jets. That's something that's possible. But, yes, at the end of the day, like Al Pierce said, you still get the draft capital. And that's something that we're desperately going to need. We are going to need draft capital. So that's something there. Lauman says pay tier tart now. We're definitely going to have to see that. But right now, I did not see Dennis the Dud Daly listed. So I believe he is a free agent and he should be nowhere near this football team. So I would say absolutely not when it comes to that. So again, let me see, give me a minute. But yes, so as of right now, the Tennessee Titans are in pretty decent shape. Now, another player, like you said, Kevin Byard, right now counts $19.6 million against the cap. I could see Byard restructuring because I wouldn't mind holding on to him. He's one of the best safeties in the league, and you can lower that cap number and save some money. Another thing the Titans could do is Derrick Henry. He's at $16.36 million. Now, if you cut Derrick Henry, you don't really gain much. You gain only $6.2 million, but you count $10 million against the dead cap, which I think they may restructure Derrick Henry's contract. I could definitely see that. Ben Jones saves about, Ben Jones saves about $3 million, 3.7 million. I could see a cut being made there. I know Danico Autry saves about $7 million, but I don't see that happening. I think he is extremely too valuable. But those are some of the big cuts. Like, I can see Jordan Roos, Kevin Rader, some of those guys save about a couple million a piece. Those millions do tend to add up. And so there are some other guys they could cut that could save like the minimal money and things like that. And so there's definitely room. There's definitely wiggle room that you could definitely work on. So there is a lot of things they can do. So they got work to do. And I think they can make this work. But Ran Carthon, he ain't playing around. He is basically saying it's time to fix this team. So that's exactly what they're going to do. Again, make sure y'all smash that like button. Super chats are also appreciated as well. Definitely helping the Blue Enforcer 40th birthday party fund as well. You can definitely help with that. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new to the show, and hit that bell and hit all to get all the notifications. So I'm trying to get to all of your comments as much as you can, but I know I'm going to miss some. So I definitely do apologize. Herman says, cutting Tannehill is crazy. The best they can do is make a lateral move talent-wise for his replacement. Now, again, Tannehill is a pretty big deal because I think there are only 3 ways this is going to work. 2 of them involving trading Tannehill. If you trade Tannehill, say, to the Jets, well, if you trade Tannehill, period, you better be either 1, getting ready to trade for Aaron Rodgers, or 2, you're trading up to go get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. I hear the Bears talking about they might trade Justin Fields. I don't believe that, because in the beginning, they were very much like firm in believing Justin Fields is their guy. I think they're trying to really see what they can get for that number 1 pick. We saw this if you follow the NBA, like the Toronto Raptors could have traded OG Anunoby to the Memphis Grizzlies because the Grizzlies offered 3 first-round picks for him, and the Raptors was like, nah, we weren't going to really trade him. We just wanted to see what teams were willing to offer. They were playing around. If Tannehill leaves, he's going to the Colts. BLGV 901, LVG. Again, the only way Tannehill, I think, is gone is if he's traded. I don't think the Titans are going to cut him. Now, if they trade up and go get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, I could see a post June 1st. Perhaps. Now, I think that is a logical thing that the Titans will do is Derrick Henry. Extend Henry, give him some voidable years, and that can lower the cap number. And I don't think a lot of fans are ready for Derrick Henry to be gone. But again, you have to understand, even on ESPN they're talking about the Bills getting Derrick Henry, I need y'all to understand and put this in your mind. There is a possibility that Derrick Henry could get traded at some point this offseason. Derrick Henry is entering the last year of his contract. There is a possibility by this time next season, Derrick Henry is not on this team anymore. And at some point, that's going to happen. And I need all of you to get your mind right and prepare for that. It's going to happen eventually. And I love Derrick Henry. But I need everybody to understand things don't last forever. All good things at some point must come to an end. And at some point, we're going to have to say goodbye to our king. I mean, we've already started to say goodbye to Big Boss Hog Taylor Lewan, and Taylor Lewan was a good one. So we're definitely going to have to see about that. Ken Moore says, one more move, fire Tim Kelly. I mean, again, Ken, I am willing to give Tim Kelly an opportunity. I wasn't enthused about the pick either, but I would have rather have seen him get his shot during last season. But I'm willing to give Tim Kelly a shot because Mike Vrabel knows if this fails, Vrabel's going to be fired. And I know a lot of people think me talking about Vrabel being gone is blasphemy. And maybe it is. But I need people to stop thinking that Vrabel is like a god. He's not. Yes, has Vrabel been successful? For the most part, yes, up until last season. But everybody needs to remember, the NFL stands for not for long. This is a what have you done for me lately league. And what Mike Vrabel has done lately is lose 7 in a row. And did all of you forget about the playoff where they blew a golden opportunity to win a Super Bowl to win a Super Bowl? That's strike 1. Strike 2, they sucked at the end of last year. If this fails with Tim Kelly, that's strike 3 on Vrabel, in my opinion. DBS says we can retool the offensive line in the offseason. That's the most important problem. And yes, it is. It is a big problem. Clay says Henry got some good running left in him. And I am not denying that. I am not denying that at all. Derrick Henry definitely, a lot of people say that running backs, when they get on the wrong side of 30, they tend to fall off. Derrick Henry will turn 30 years old at the end of next season. Right now, Derrick Henry is 29 years old. When his contract originally ends, he will be turning 30. DBS says trade Tannehill, Dupree in a first for Rodgers. I would do everything I can to not trade that number 11 pick. I would not do that. I mean, you probably have to. But, again, you're going to have to pay for Aaron Rodgers. Derek Roberts says, when is the end of lying season? Well, Derek Roberts, you better buckle up, my friend. Lying season has just begun. As Leonardo DiCaprio would say, there's a lot of lies that's been told at this table tonight. But this you will believe. So, a lot of lies are going to be told within the next 3 months, up until the draft. A lot of smoke screens. Now, some smoke will become fire, but some are just going to be nothing but a bunch of lies. That's exactly what happened. Derek, thank you again for the super chat. Now, again, nobody retires Titan. I think Taylor Lewan will retire as a Titan. And what are you talking about? Nobody ever retires as a Titan. I mean, let's go back a little bit. Eddie George retired as a Titan. We have him on the wall. We have him on the in our Ring of Honor. McNair, even though we traded him to the Ravens, he's in our Ring of Honor. Who else retired a Titan? I mean, let's see. Jarrell Casey retired as a Titan. Delaney Walker retired as a Titan. I believe Michael Griffin retired as a Titan. There's many guys that have retired as Titans, even though they went to other teams. So they come sign that 1 year deep, that 1 day contract, and they decide they're going to retire as Tennessee Titans. So, I mean, plenty of them did that. Bum Phillips, the coach, he's in the Ring of Honor. Jeff Fisher, even though he was ran out of this city after multiple 8-8 seasons, retired as a Titan. So I disagree with that. We never have enough weapons. We need weapons, and Vrabel mentioned we got to get faster, and that's something there too. Let's see, did CJ2K retire as a Titan? That's a good question. I want to say he did. I'm looking that up right now. Yeah. In 2019, CJ2K signed a 1 day contract. So yeah, CJ2K retired as a Titan. So Overdrive, you are absolutely right. CJ2K did retire as a Tennessee Titan. So that happens. So cuts have been made. More is probably coming in the coming week before the combine, because that's where a lot of conversations are going to be had. So the NFL combine is this week, is next week. And so that's where all of the rookies, guys like Bryce Young, guys like CJ Stroud, guys like Paris Johnson and Jordan Addison, and all of them will be under the same roof with with Rand Carthon and with Mike Vrabel. And so I really hate I'm not going to be able to go to Indy for the combine, but I will be watching. A lot of things that people watch for, of course, is the 40-yard dash. The 40-yard dash. Some may look at the drills and things like that, and maybe some of the jumps, maybe some of the long jumps or whatever, looking at some of the measurables. But I know a lot of times, a lot of people want to hear, who are the Titans talking to? Who have they interviewed? Because they're going to be able to interview a lot of guys at the combine coming up. So that's going to be that's going to be something. And we're definitely going to find out some information on who the Titans are talking to and everything. So the first people we'll get there will be for let's see. I'm trying to see I'm trying to see what how many players I'm trying to see how many I'm trying to see how many interviews you can do. Okay. Now, as of 2020, they used to be you could interview 60, but now it's down to 45 18-minute interviews. So that was as of 2020. I don't know if they've changed the rules. I'm trying to see about that, so bear with me, y'all. So let's see. I am looking at a website. I'm trying to see if I can find that out. But I know, the first ones, let's see. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Now they're probably going to go back to everything because it's kind of back to normal. I couldn't see what the rules were, but I will say, let me see. Steve Cardinal says March 5th is the most important combine day. May I ask why? I am a bit confused. Because I know, let's see. I'm trying to see something. Give me just a moment. All right. I am trying to search something. So y'all bear with me. I'm trying to see if I can get some information. But I mean, the combine is coming up, and one thing that they got to do, you're gonna have, chances to they're gonna have chances to interview a lot of players. Okay, I see Steve Crowder says March 5th, offensive line takes the field. Now, that is a very important date as far as offensive line, but I would also say another date that's very important is when the wide receivers take the field. Is when the wide receivers and I would dare say the quarterbacks take the field. That's going to be those dates are extremely important. So believe me when I tell you, those dates are just as important. I guarantee you that. So I look forward to seeing the quarterbacks, wide receivers, and offensive line do their thing. And so the 40-yard dash, I'm looking to see that. Who's fast? Who could be some fast guys we look at? How do the top quarterbacks do? And in this draft, there's going to probably be one or two quarterbacks that you thought they'll probably be like third, fourth round maybe, that are going to perform so well, they're going to skyrocket. That's what happened with Carson Wentz a few years ago. Nobody thought of him as a first-round pick, let alone going to number 2 before the combine. After the combine, he went from being like projected in like the 4th round to being all the way like, this dude is a first rounder. So anything can happen. If you look good at the combine, there are going to be some people that's thinking that guy's stock has skyrocketed. And so there are going to be some guys whose stock skyrockets up, but there are also going to be some guys whose stock plummets. Not only how they do on the field, but maybe also how they do in interviews. That's going to be very important as well. The interview process is going to be just as important. They usually call the scouting combine the biggest and most difficult job interview of your NFL, of your football career. This is a huge job interview because you're trying to tell 32 teams why they should pick you, why they should put you on their football team. So it's going to be major. And like I said, it's February 28th through the 6th. That's the dates. And so On the 26th, they're going to start. You got defensive line and linebackers will get there first. The real stuff will not get started. Like on-field stuff, let's see. The first group of guys, the defensive linemen and linebackers, they'll get there on Monday the 27th, do orientation. They could do some interviews for the next 3 days, but then March 2nd is when they go on the field. Then you got defensive backs and kickers, which, again, the Titans are going to take a look at those. That is on Friday, March 3rd. So the workouts will begin on the 2nd with linebackers and defensive line, which the Titans could use one more defensive lineman and also could use some help at linebacker. Then you got defensive backs and kickers, and we need a kicker now. Then on the 4th and the 5th are the big days. The 4th and the 5th are the big days. Those are the two most important days on the calendar because those are the 2 days on the 3rd, let me get that. On Saturday, March 4th is quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tight ends. We're definitely going to be looking at the quarterbacks. We're definitely going to be looking at the wide receivers. And then Sunday, March 5th is going to be offensive line. So those are the very important dates. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this with everybody so that way everybody sees it. All right. Let me know if everybody can see that, and I'm going to take this combine to Indy. Yeah, but these are the dates. So you have, they're going to be coming in. They got to get there. They're going to do their orientation, medical exams. They got to get checked medically. They get a couple of days of interviews beforehand, and then they got to go on the field. So really, a lot of things won't get started until March the 2nd. But before that, you're going to be hearing a lot of interviews. You're going to be, they got to go through the medical exam. They got to go through orthopedic exams. If anybody is injured or was injured, they got to make sure that they check out medically and things like that. So they got to go through a lot of medical exams. They got to go through a lot of interviews, orientations, things like that. So there's a lot of things they got to go through, and that's before they even touch the field. So there's a lot that they have to do. So I am definitely looking forward to the combine. Definitely looking forward to hearing some of these guys talk because some of them are going to be doing, when they arrive, they're going to be doing some media interviews first. And of course, so you're going to see those guys, they're going to have like their position number and like a number under that, like wide receiver 1. That'll be like the very first player. And they usually go in alphabetical order. So I'm looking forward to seeing the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, the offensive linemen. Definitely looking at that because we need help on it. We need an overhaul offensively. Also, I am looking forward to maybe seeing the cornerbacks and the linebackers because I think we need help at edge rusher. We may need an edge rusher as well. So this combine next week is extremely important. But there are definitely going to be some interviews and all of that we're going to hear about. But then at the end, March 1st is the big date because that's when the players will start to take the field. So that's something that's going to be definitely major. Now I know a lot of people say Aaron Rodgers could very well go back to Green Bay, and I'm looking at some stuff on Bleacher Report. If Aaron Rodgers goes back to Green Bay, I am immediately looking at trading for Jordan Love, because I liked Jordan Love coming out of Utah State, and I thought, we could have used him as a trade chip, and we could definitely use that. But we will definitely see when it comes to that. I mean, it depends on if Aaron Rodgers goes back. Weaver will be a Pro Bowler next season. I don't know. Still remains to be seen when it comes to Rashad Weaver. I think he's a good situational pass rusher, but as far as legit, still left a little bit to be desired. But the combine, again, it's not just looking at the rookies. Like I said, the positions I'm looking forward to the most: quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line are my top three. And then slightly looking at linebackers for edge rusher and middle linebacker and defensive back. But another thing that does happen at the NFL Combine is this is where a lot of deals get made. A lot of trades are negotiated at the Combine. A lot of the groundwork is put in for those trades, because not only are there, Rand Carthon can talk to other general managers of other teams. He could talk to agents of impending free agents. He could talk to agents of impending free agents. He could talk to, again, he could talk to the agents, and he could talk to other general managers to say, for example, he could go up to Denver's general manager and say, hey, I know y'all got that receiver, Jerry Jeudy. If y'all decide to move him, what would you possibly want for him? How much would you want for him? Would you be willing to give up a fourth rounder, a fourth or conditional fifth rounder for Jerry Jeudy? Maybe a third? Would you be willing to do that? Or, for example, another team, maybe, I don't know, the Bengals might be looking at T. Higgins or Tyler Boyd. Maybe one of them. You could talk to him about that. Carthon could look at, maybe go to his old boy John Lynch and say, hey, y'all need a quarterback. Brock Purdy's not playing next year. We got Tannehill. What would you be willing to give up? Would you be willing to give up maybe a late first for Tannehill? So, that's the type of things that go on. Those are the type of things that go on at the Combine. So I am very much looking forward to seeing how all of this plays out as far as the draft. I mean, as far as the Combine is concerned. But everybody, I'm going to get ready to get out of here because I know I've talked your heads off enough on this. I'm trying to see if there was any other interesting news around the Titans that have happened. But right now, I think the major ones were definitely the cuts that were definitely made. Again, there's definitely going to be more moves that are going to be made in the coming days, in the coming weeks. The Titans now really don't have to rush because they're in compliance now with the NFL as far as, being able to do things. But, Taylor Lewan, was a good dude. But I understand him being cut. Bud Dupree could be next. We could see something happen with Tannehill. I think once Aaron Rodgers decides what he wants to do, that's going to be the first domino to fall. And Lauman said, no, I would not want Drew Lock. I do not want Drew Lock. I don't care for that. Got my guy Morocco, Titans Coliseum, and y'all go check them out too. Titans Coliseum podcast had those guys on last week, and they were great. Definitely had a good time with those guys. So definitely check those guys out. And also, I'm sorry, y'all, I kind of got sidetracked a little bit because that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to give a shout out. Trying to give a shout out to my guy Man Hour of the Man Hour Network. So y'all definitely go check out the Man Hour Sports Talk network. He definitely is helping me as far as I'm concerned with Titans and Truth. So definitely check out the Man Hour Sports Talk network. My guys, Mike and Eugene, definitely check them out. I know they're big Chiefs fans, so definitely check those guys out. I would definitely love Jordan Addison. I would love him on this team. But everybody, I'm going to get ready to get on off of here. And so, what did y'all think of the moves again? I think these were all moves we expected. Randy Bullock, a little bit of a surprise, but I understand that. And, you know, Rand Carthon ain't playing. He's heading to the future. And we're definitely going to see where this goes. And, you know, what can happen again in the coming times. Now, of course, with San Francisco, yes, they don't have a first-round pick. They don't have a first-round pick in this year's draft. They gave it to New Orleans. So New Orleans actually has that. Now, New Orleans is another team. Now, New Orleans, they traded their first-round pick to Philly, which is at 10, but then they got a pick at 30. So they have a first-round pick. Teams that might need quarterbacks. Now, again, if the Giants don't re-sign Daniel Jones, there's another. You know, so it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out. I think Tampa Bay at 19, we might could trade Tannehill to Tampa Bay, maybe get a first-round pick there. Washington, I think, would be extremely desperate. I could see that. So we're definitely going to have to find out about that. But everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning into the show. And Lauman, I will not reconsider Drew Lock. There's no way on God's green earth. So thank y'all for tuning into the show. I'm just saying. Thank y'all for tuning into the show. I'm your man, Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. The Truth. Again, if y'all haven't shared the show, make sure y'all share the show out. Make sure y'all everybody smash that like button on your way out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, where have you been? Subscribe, hit that bell, and ring it, and then you'll be notified when things go live. Right when I decide to put something together, you'll get a notification. So again, thank y'all so much for tuning into the show. I am right at 1,300 subscribers, and I am, definitely trying to get to 1,500. So help me get to 1,500. Before I want to get to 1,500. Matter of fact, get to 1,500 before the draft. I want to be at 1,350 by the combine. So spread the word to everybody. I want 1,350 by the combine, and maybe at the draft. If we can get to 1,500, I'll give away something at the draft, at my draft party. If we get to 1,500, if we get to 2,000, I'll give away a couple of things. I'll do a couple of giveaways. So I'll work on that. But y'all help me out. Get the word out to everybody. If you're not subscribed to the show, where have you been and everything? So come on, join me. We're gonna have some fun. Thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and TNT tonight. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. Y'all have a good rest of the night. Tighten up, because that's all we know how to do.